Welcome, people of the World Wide Web. So this is Christmas Cypher Sigma, and it is a little bit of a normal, or not normal, a different video to what you would normally see on this channel. So in the online community that we have, we like to do certain videos like people's top 10s, top 5s, like the best movie of Christmas and all this stuff. So Angelo from Napang's Wacky World, he nominated me with a load of other people. So I found this. So it was the your top 10 movies of the 21st century. So that is obviously any movie released from the 1st of January 2021, 2001, 2021, up until obviously the current date that it is. People have thrown her in. Now this is, I found very interesting and took me a little while. So first off the bat is obviously everyone has their top 5 or top 10 movies. I definitely have a top 10 or top 5 movies, and 2 of those are in this list. But I wanted to be a little bit more kind of creative and a little bit more, give myself a bit more of a set of guidelines for this. So what I did is I opened up my phone and I literally went through 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 2025. So I didn't cover anything from this year. And I went through my favorite movie of each one of these years. So basically I've already kind of reduced myself to 1 movie per year. So say if there was a few, say if there were 2 or 3 good films that released in the same year, I would only be picking 1 for my list. I just wanted to be a little bit more creative. So and then kind of I've organised them in the kind of way I feel about them, even though the top 2 are in my top 5 aren't necessarily, 1 and 2, to put it that way. There is some, one of them is potentially, but yeah, we shall get into it. So I will do them in reverse. So number 10. So this is the most recent film on the list, recent come out, of the recording list. BAFTAs have just been out, and the main actor has won obviously 2 awards in the BAFTAs. So it is last year's movie, I Swear, and my number 1. Absolutely adore this movie. Good, it won stuff from the BAFTAs. I know obviously it didn't get any nominations for the Oscars because obviously I don't think it was released worldwide, but still a great story. I can see that people hate this. There's a lot of negative media about obviously John Davison, the real life person who attended the BAFTAs, who unfortunately his tics were heard on camera, and obviously they have totally been taken away. But all the articles that I keep seeing on this, like 99.9% of the people commenting actually understand Tourette's and go, well, if only there was a movie to understand it. So I think this is really nice, and this movie is so much more impactful than we take it. The reason it's number 10, and this would sit higher, is because it hasn't been out that long. I think the film was out like 6 months ago or something, 6-7 months ago. Obviously it was released on physical media at the end of last year, and obviously then it's been 2 months since then, give or take. So it hasn't been out a long time, so this is why it sits at number 10, because I think give it a few years, this would definitely go up in my estimations. But I think just because it's 6 months it's been out, the longevity of it hasn't stuck with me as of yet. I reckon it will do. So that is number 10. So number 9, I'll try and find the years these were actually released. So so that was 2025. So 2012, I've gone for the musical. So this is Rock of Ages. So this is something that I really enjoy. Me and my wife have seen this together. I've actually been, funny enough, of my previous, my girlfriend before my wife, she actually took me to the stage show in London to see this, and it was a great time. Then me and my wife went to see this. She was my fiance at the time, and we had a really great experience. There was a little side story of it. So we went to see the musical. I want to say it was in like Milton Keynes, and it was like a lunchtime one, and we had turned up, and in the front row, one half of it was these old, almost like a retirement home kind of put in. So half of this row, so half the front row was all very elderly people. Now this is, it kind of has erotic themes and stuff like this, and the guy who plays Russell Brand character is kind of the narrator of it. So they do a bit of crowd work in it, and in it he spoke with one of the ladies and was being all chatty with her in the first half. They went off, come back at the second half. The whole half of the role just didn't come. They obviously didn't know or didn't understand what it was. Obviously, it was too erotic or too sexualized for them. And there's a running joke that they have is, because I've seen it a few times, that they come back and they go, oh, he comes up with a sign with the lady's name on it, and his kind of partner in crime on this goes, oh, like, oh, where's this lady? Blah 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 blah. And the guy holding up the sign obviously saw that she wasn't there, and he goes like, and they go, who? So his mate goes, who is so and so that he's got on the card? And he's like, who? Don't you mean where is she? Literally everyone in the audience knew that obviously like they hadn't turned back up, and he got a standing ovation for that, and I thought it was very good. So I really enjoyed the stage show, and I really enjoyed the film, and there's all those memories that have linked with it, which is why I rate this movie the ninth one. It is a really good musical, really good actors and actresses across the board, and a very enjoyable film and a stage show if you get a chance to see it. So that is number 9. Number 8. Let's find the year this was from, if it even has it on it. 2015. So my number 1 movie from the year 2015 is Blake Lively's The Age of Adaline. Now, obviously, nothing against her. There's a lot of stuff, but I really, really love this. Coming from the background of Pushing Daisies, if you've ever seen that series, they used a kind of narration and that in this, and it's kind of a lady who has an accident who kind of gets frozen in time, and it's how about relationship she has at the time of when she gets frozen, and then obviously years later, obviously dealing with those people's children and everything, and what becomes of it. And it is a really, really nice, beautiful movie. It really works completely across the board. Obviously, Harrison Ford is in it, and it's good this like kind of narration how what would happen. It's kind of a more down to earth, like, you know, if you did get frozen and you didn't age, what you would have to do, stuff. And it's really, and there's those elements that I really, really enjoy. Really, that kind of is a heartfelt movie, which we don't really get as much as we do, but then kind of gets you thinking, because obviously it deals with elements like time and the passing of time that we all obviously consider from one point in our lives. But there is that. So that is number 8. So number 7, not my favourite Christopher Nolan movie, but it is the only Christopher Nolan movie that sits in this, and it is The Prestige from 2006. So I actually adore this movie. I know people like The Illusionist over this. I thought this was great. When you figure out how stuff is being done, it is so clever and it makes so much sense. And it's one of these movies, and I'll kind of use a Sixth Sense, but not. It's when you realise he's dead. There's stuff like this that when you realise what the twist is, when rewatching it a second time, a third time, you pick up so much more, and you notice so many little details that the director has added into it. And for me, this is it. I mean, I've watched this probably about 4 or 5 times, and every time I've discovered something new along the way. And I just think it is, you know, great. Plus, nobody really sees the twists coming, which is great, which kind of links into The Prestige, the name. So absolutely enjoy that movie. So that is number 7. So number 6, when we get to the halfway point, a movie that was redone last year, but I absolutely enjoy. It is How to Train Your Dragon. This I do hold better over the live action movie. I know some people haven't seen it, some people may have seen the live action. This is such a heartwarming movie. I love animation anyway, as you can tell behind me and stuff like this. The fact that after the first movie, and I'm not giving it obviously then deals with even with Hiccup and Toothless, obviously you have the kind of subtle undertone of disabilities and stuff in there, and just, you know, of trying to be who you are against what everyone says you should be. And there's elements like that, and the fact it is a kids movie and that you can enjoy it on so many different levels, and the fact we have a live action adaptation of it. Great film and a great series. So yeah, this is number one. The steelbook version I have, a very nice, and obviously just show you the image there. So that is number 6. So then we get into the top 5. So this is where it goes to show. So this is my top 2 movie, which is really funny. So 2 of my top 5 movies are in it, but they're actually in the reverse order of what I rank them. So, but that's it. So it's from 2004. Yeah, it doesn't have a J card on it, so I don't know when that is, but I think it's early 2000s, like 2002, 2003, I think that is. So from 2005, we have Crash. On my top 5, rated number 2, but obviously a lower one sits above it in this list. But I'm not going to go much now. But yeah, it is a great story. As you will see, I like twists and turns and how stuff is discovered and stuff is interpreted. When it comes to movies, this is a great movie. A lot of great actors and actresses in it, and the fact it is of just how they interact with their lives. As the movie starts off, Don Cheadle has a great monologue. Essentially, he goes, "Look, we all live in like these glass kind of houses or these kind of structures, that is our own self environment, and essentially we spend our lives banging into each other basically to have these interactions with other people so we can feel stuff from them. Sometimes obviously that can be negative and positive if you want to look at it that way, but I really enjoyed that kind of concept, and it's displayed in this movie that a lot of characters where you see them at the beginning are in a different place at the end of the film, not exactly where you would think they would do, and it makes so much sense that this is the chaos that is life, and it makes, we are crashing into each other. We build lives, we build friendships, we build relationships. All of this, is creating our story of our life. Stuff, and how so much what we do, whether it be a little thing, can impact so much more on other people's lives. And I think that message is a great subtle undertone, but yeah, just had a very enjoyable movie, if I can get my words. So number 5 is Crash, which I say is rated my number 2 movie of all time, and number 1 is The Crow, and obviously isn't featured in here. So number 4, this is where we start to get into the real passion. So I've chosen movies that gravitate, not only do I really enjoy, that I can rewatch a lot, but represent themes that I thoroughly enjoy. So number 4 is Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim. So this is my special edition that I paid. I don't have many special editions for this. This is a thoroughly great movie. Not only does it take the concept of kaijus, which are monsters, which are seen in obviously Japanese and Chinese filming, like Godzilla and Gamera and King Kong and stuff like this, that have been adapted for the Western world. That not only take on big robots, which is like Japanese anime, which obviously, as you can see, I'm a massive fan of, but he blends these two together in a real world with his kind of Guillermo del Toro feel on it. And if you've seen behind the scenes, the sound stages and everything that is kind of linked to them is great. Obviously, you have can't remember his name now. Quite a few famous-ish actors in here. Charlie Day being one of them. Idris Elba, that's who I'm thinking of. He has a really great role in it, and just the whole alien threat, but just taken to such another level, and obviously the concept of the world coming together. But it's just because it has such a human element to it, and a building these to a combination, the human element is such raw in this. I think it is so great and adds a lot of elements that we don't really see in many other films. Really love this. It's a shame he didn't stay on to do 2, and 2 went the way it did, but you can't have everything. So number 4. So we go to my top 3. So from 2019, I want to say this is. Yeah, from 2019, Milo Ventimiglia. I've mentioned this a lot on the channel, and it is The Art of Racing in the Rain. If you know me, I'm a massive dog lover. Love dog movies, and this is by far my number 1 dog movie of all time. I've watched this amount of time, always gets me upset near the end of it, and essentially it is about a race car driver who picks up a dog, calls him Enzo, and it is the story of their life together. It is nowhere near a perfect life. It is based on a book, and obviously the story spans from the beginning to the end of Enzo's life. Obviously, the end is very sad, but just shows elements of just how much dogs love you undivided, and just, you know, and how much they create a relationship around it, and obviously how much a dog can impact someone's life. That goes through a lot of, I would say, trauma, but yeah, a lot of bad luck in this film. And just, yeah, if anybody watches this and doesn't like it and is a dog person, I would be very much surprised. I say very bring the tissues if you haven't seen it before, but absolutely adore this movie. Really would like a Blu-ray to upgrade it. My wife bought me this Region 1, but I'm still happy to watch it. And it is, I think, still on Netflix. So that is number 3. So final 2 movies. So up, I know there has been one animated movie, but a second animated movie, my probably favourite anime movie of all time. I think it was from 2016, and it is Your Name. Again, I've mentioned this on the channel before. This doesn't sit in my top 5, but it would be in my top 10 movies of all time, which is why it's funny that this sits in a different list. And essentially, this brings the core concept of 2 kids, and at random times they swap bodies. So they go to sleep, wake up, they're in each other's body. They spend so many days as that person, and then they get walked back to their own body. But they don't really recall much of it, and it's how they kind of form this friendship bondship between it, and it all kind of links around this kind of comic show that happens. And there's so many elements to it that just it kind of sits on the I would say the edge of, you know, destined to be together, and while there is maybe, specifically in this fictional world, that there are elements going on that kind of link us together that we don't ever realize but do. And yeah, it is a beautiful movie. Glad to have this special edition with it. I say, never got to saw it at the cinema because I was late to the party on it, but would hope that it would be released maybe in a few years' time as a 10th anniversary and I get to see it. Pardon me. So that is number 2. So what is my final movie? So my final movie, which is actually in my top 5 movies and is number 5, it is Steven Spielberg's adaptation of Ready Player One. So again, you'll see there are some book adaptations in here. This is obviously from the book Ready Player One. There is a sequel, and supposedly he is looking to do a sequel movie. But this is a movie that not only is amazingly done, obviously it adapts a book, and the book is different. I have read the book and do enjoy it, but I feel this is more the superior version. But because this culminates in elements of today, so you have the digital world and linking everybody together and stuff like this, and a human of friends and partying online, and the elements you don't know who the other person is, and wanting to escapism and stuff like this. But it has so much nostalgia for like the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, sci-fi. You know, if you are a geek, you know, there are Call of Duty, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the Iron Giant, going back to like The Shining, Buckaroo Banzai, if you've ever seen that movie, from the starring the lead guy from RoboCop. There are so many elements that in here that is just like an Easter egg exploring. Obviously Easter eggs are a big thing in this movie, and I just think it is so perfectly portrayed. And I say, it does not only the movie, the book credit, that it elevates it, because I say it swaps a few things that were in the book, which I think this works better for a movie. And yeah, it just is a great of everyone coming kind of together and realizing that there is more to the online world, but showing that friendship kind of rules over everything. So that is my number 1 movie. So that has been, if I will show you my top 10 movies of the 21st century. Everyone that I kind of know has been nominated for this as far as I'm aware, so I won't nominate everybody. If you're watching this and want to do your own video, please do. I would happily watch them. I've been Chris from Cypher Sigma Screen Time. Let me know your top 10 in the comments down below. Otherwise, I'll definitely see you in the next one.